Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 10-minute warning. Your 10-minute warning will get started in 10 minutes. 10-minute warning. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Dais guests to the dais. Georgia over here.
Earlier this week, Dartmouth head coach Buddy Teevens died. Before Dartmouth plays Lehigh today, there will be a moment of silence and a gathering of remembrance afterwards as the Big Green will wear decals in his honor, the winningest coach in Big Green history. He was also the head coach at Stanford, head coach at Tulane, and he helped Dartmouth engineers develop a robotic tackling dummy to try to make the game safer. Former assistant to Steve Spurrier, highly regarded offensive mind, won 5 Ivy League titles, Ivy League Player of the Year at Dartmouth in 1978. Our condolences and prayers to Buddy Teevens.
Play action. Deep throw to the end zone. Touchdown, Harvard! What an outstanding catch by Dean Boyd.
Jackson Proctor all by himself down the left sideline to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown!
This pass is going to be picked off, taken back the other way. Nothing but green in front, and it's going to be taken to the house here.
Flea flicker downfield, Colella behind the defense in stride, inside the 30, inside the 20. One man to beat inside the 5, stays on his feet, touchdown!
Paul Lewis steps in front of the screen pass. Paul Lewis with a house call. Touchdown, Cornell.
Hosley reverses field, nothing quiet about this, look out! Hosley's gonna go! 96 yards to Pater!
Fires down the far side, wide open is Mahoney! He makes the catch! 10-5, touchdown! The Brown Bears answer! Wilcox to Mahoney! Touchdown!
Bell has all the time in the world. Again to Jenkins. On the fly, he makes the catch, and it's good for a score. Snap is high, kick is going to be blocked. It's blocked into the end zone and recovered for the Dartmouth touchdown.
Throwing, broken up. One day, Owen's got a hand in there.
It's picked off, intercepted. One man to get past, and he does. Bartram to the house. Touchdown, Harvard.
He's dropped in the backfield. It's Ozzie Nicholas, the Ivy League's leading tackler with the sack.
And that's intercepted by Reed at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Ivy League leading 4th interception of the season for Isaiah Reed.
Walk rolls to the right side, floats it for Doran Smith, who makes the grab. Smith in the open field and scores.
Intercepted. Columbia's defense with its third takeaway. Hayden McDonald taking it to the house for a pick 6.
Pass is incoming here, and a hit from Slackman drops him. Throw, and it's intercepted. Tipped into the hands of the playmaker, Sean Williams, with a pick 6 and a Dartmouth touchdown.
Verse around the barcade. He throws. Craig and Harvard. A 25-23 win.
Throwing towards the end zone. It is caught! Touchdown! Pantelis! Yale back in front.
Good afternoon. Coach Buddy, you certainly be missed. My name is Matthew Pyne. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the National Football Foundation. Welcome to the New York Athletic Club for today's ASA S Bushnell Cup presentation and reception presented by our good friends at Bruin Capital. It is my pleasure to introduce the National Football Foundation President and CEO. He's finishing up his 19th year with the foundation, a former conference commissioner, former PRCA commissioner, and a University of Colorado graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Hatchell.
Thank you, Matthew. Well, happy Monday to all of you. On behalf of the National Football Foundation, welcome to New York and happy holidays to all of you. Before I start, I would like to introduce that we have some of our spectacular board members here. When I took this job, George Steinbrenner was one of the people that hired me to this job, and a lot of people didn't know he played and coached college football. And he was pretty definite about his ideas, as you can only imagine. The good part was I'd known him before, so get you some guys on that staff that wore helmets. So I added Matthew right away, and Matthew played at Rice and was all Southwest Conference. And get that board of directors back to where it used to be, meaning when you're 76 years old, you have some wonderful people, including presidents of the United States who are on this board. And we benefit greatly right now that we have 4 of our board members here, one of whom you're going to hear from in a little bit. First of all, the Ivy League means a great deal to the National Football Foundation in our history. And would like to just a quick hello to Jack Ford, Emmy Award-winning announcer, former Yale defensive back, vice chairman of the National Football Foundation, providing great leadership. It's great to have you with us, Jack. And Jimmy Pitaro, played football at Cornell, is on the board of trustees, now heads up ESPN, which is a big-time, marvelous job. And we're blessed today. We're blessed today to have our chairman, Archie Manning, join us today. And we're able to do so many things in the National Football Foundation because of Archie's leadership, and member of the College Football Hall of Fame. And you know about he and his family, which is a real tribute to the sport and what it means. I'd like to begin today by paying tribute to Buddy Teevens. We were all incredibly saddened by his passing this past year, and he will be deeply missed as he is right now. He was the Bushnell Cup recipient in 1978, but his presence at this event meant so much more than just being a past winner. Buddy cared deeply about this sport, and he also gave back so much to it. It would take us the rest of the day to talk about those contributions. Today marks the 13th year that the National Football Foundation has hosted the announcement of the ASA Bushnell Cup. It was natural for us to come to the NYAC, the official home of the NFF's William B. Campbell Trophy, which is on permanent display in the NYAC Hall of Fame on the 2nd floor. Bill Campbell played at Columbia, coached and played at Columbia. The ties to the Ivy League run very deep for the NFF. This famed club provides us with the magnificent setting for today's event, and we are thrilled to be back at the NYAC to announce the recipients of the ASA Bushnell Cup for this year. A small thanks to our great friends at the NYAC, including John Duggan, President, Edward Smith, Vice President, Cindy Spera, Club Captain, Anthony LaSala, Athletic Chair, Dave Shakespeare, Governor Emeritus, and Roger Simon, General Manager. The National Football Foundation shares many ties to the Ivy League, from our shared belief in the scholar-athlete ideal to our missions that center on building tomorrow's leaders. Both organizations remain committed to strengthening the game and those experiences that make a lifelong impact. I'd like to thank the Ivy League athletic directors, football coaches, my longtime great friend, Executive Director Robin Harris, and her terrific staff, for your continued partnership. We appreciate you. And to the 8 head football coaches, we appreciate the unanimous and strong backing that you have to continue to provide for the National Football Foundation. Finally, I'd like to extend my congratulations to today's finalists and their families. This is spectacular. We are thrilled to have you here today, which we hope serves as a fitting capstone to your exceptional seasons and your contributions to football overall. And finally, I'd like to welcome to the stage, and it's my pleasure to introduce our MC. And again, another great paragraph in the history of the National Football Foundation is George Pyne. George Pyne was an all-Ivy offensive lineman at Brown, and he's gone on to become one of the most influential sports business leaders in the nation. Today, he is the founder and CEO of Bruin Capital, the only global investment firm specializing in sports. He's a member of our board of trustees. He's a counselor to all of us, from Archie and myself on down, and a 2013 inductee into the NFF Leadership Hall of Fame. George has been involved with this initiative since day one for 13 years. George has been right here with us, and we are always appreciative of our time with George. This year he stepped up to say, I'm going to sponsor this event. So when you see the Bruin Capital signs around, you realize that that's George saying I can make a difference. We would like to extend a big thank you and to George and Bruin Capital for your support. And now I'll turn it over to you, George. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Steve. It's great to be here today. Really proud of being affiliated with the NFF, and the NFF has been on the forefront of taking up for the game of football over the years, and Steve has led an arch of many different initiatives to help the game and promote the game and defend the game when it needed to defending, but now we're on to promoting. So that's great. And then just a moment about Buddy Teevens. I played against the Buddy Teevens coach team, the championship team, when I was in college. Got to watch him build back Dartmouth from the depths to the heights of Ivy League football. But more and more, as you all know, he's a great human being. I used to see him out at the Super Bowl, and he would always go out of his way to come over and say hello. Just a great man, and will really be missed. But good afternoon and welcome to the announcement of the Ivy League Bushnell Cup winner. It's an honor for me to be here today and to celebrate these outstanding young men who present the best of the traditions and values of Ivy League football and the game of football. To be part of this presentation for me the past several years is personally something I'm extremely proud of. To have played football at Brown University, which are some of my fondest memories. It made a huge impact on my life. My son Brendan also played at Brown and was recognized as an NFF Scholar Athlete. Not only am I here today representing my family, but I'm also my company, Bruin Capital. Back when I played, Brown was called the Brown Bruins, and I took that name because I wanted our company to embody the many values I learned when I was in Providence. Perhaps the most impactful was understanding that when you step into a huddle, everyone, regardless of their background, was an equal and played a meaningful role in the success of the team. I look at everyone at Bruin and our portfolio companies, regardless of their standing, the very same way today. So the lessons I learned playing football are really applied every day in life and at Bruin Capital. So I'm excited that Bruin is sponsoring today's event and also supporting the National Football Foundation. In a moment, I'm going to hand over the mic to Ivy League Executive Director Robin Harris, who will announce today's honorees. Regardless of the outcome, to the players here today, you are all exceptional individuals, and you couldn't have a brighter future. I know you'll be proud ambassadors of the game and the Ivy League and your institution, and I know for each and every one of you, the best is yet to come. I'd also like to call out Wes Rocket, who's here from Brown, a Bruin Capital intern on top of all things. Wes, we're thrilled and proud of you. And congratulations to Harvard, Yale, and Dartmouth on winning those championships. Really, truly amazing. To the coaches here today, thank you for helping to shape the lives of these outstanding young men. There's no bigger role model than your parents and your coach. You have the respect and admiration of everyone here at the National Football Foundation, and thank you so much for your efforts. It's now my honor to introduce Ivy League Executive Director Robin Harris, who will reveal the names of the 2023 recipients of the Bushnell Cup as the league's offensive and defensive players of the year. Robin is in her 15th year, and at that time, she has successfully guided the league back to the forefront of intercollegiate athletics, from the collaboration with the Big Ten on concussion research, to league-wide sponsorship deals and television agreements, including a historic agreement in 2018 with ESPN, to her appointment to the NCAA's Constitution Committee and the Transformation Committee. The Ivy League has experienced unprecedented exposure under Robin's watch. Ladies and gentlemen, Robin Harris.
Thank you, George. I appreciate those comments very much. You continue to be a tremendous ambassador and representative of the Ivy League, and your comments illustrated why we value so much the experiences that we are providing student athletes across all sports that benefit them throughout their careers. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for bringing Bruin Capital into supporting this fabulous event for our Bushnell Cup finalists. We really appreciate you. We are excited to again be back at the New York Athletic Club to a packed room once again in this beautiful venue. And the decorations just add to the ambiance and atmosphere. Again, a heartfelt thank you to the National Football Foundation for providing us with this wonderful opportunity to celebrate our student athletes, particularly to Steve Hatchell, Matthew Sine, and our board members who are in attendance, to Archie, George, Jack, and Jimmy. We really do appreciate you taking the time to be here. I know you're all so incredibly busy, and it means a lot. And our partnership with ESPN has truly been a win-win all around. Our arrangement provides incredible exposure across all sports, including, of course, our football games. And we're thrilled to be able to have one place where our fans, parents, alumni can watch Ivy League athletics. So Jimmy, in particular, we appreciate your attendance here with us today. As always, I want to thank our athletic directors, our head football coaches, former Bushnell Cup winners, and so many distinguished alumni, and of course the family and friends of our honorees for taking the time to be here today. Thank you all for the very impactful roles that you play in Ivy League athletics, in Ivy League football, and in developing these outstanding young men that we're celebrating today. And as I look out on our group of football coaches, and we met this morning, I see some new and yet familiar faces. Our new football coaches all have tremendous experience and ties to the Ivy League, and we're thrilled to welcome them into the Ivy League and to look forward even to next year while we're still celebrating the achievements from this year. While we welcome the new faces, I would also be remiss if I didn't mention two legendary Ivy League football coaches. We know Al Bagnoli is enjoying his well-deserved retirement, and he left the Ivy League as the second winningest coach, winning 9 Ivy League titles. And I know that we all miss Buddy, and he was such an incredible ambassador for the Ivy League. He brought so much to Ivy League football, but also the game of football, in how he was an unrelenting champion for the health and safety of our student athletes and student athletes across the country. And he was also a pioneer in his commitment to advancing women's coaches. And I know the entire Ivy League community's thoughts are with Kirsten Teevens and their entire family as we very fondly remember our friend Buddy. And I know that our legendary coaches and our current coaches value the tradition of the Ivy League and in our unique place in college football. And particularly in this time of change, realignment, uncertainty in Division I college sports, we take such great pride in our tradition, our stability, our approach, and the unrivaled experiences we provide thousands of student athletes across the board so that they can achieve their best versions of themselves, both in college as students and also upon graduation with whatever career they choose. Now, the 2023 football season continued with another chapter in our storied tradition. And the word of this season was parity. But it was a parity combined with quality. We had high quality play, lots of competition, very exciting contests, and a three-way tie for our championship. In the Ivy office, we often root for ties and we want everyone to do well, so we appreciated the parity. But I don't want the quality to go unnoticed, because that is reflected not only in our non-conference winning record, which continues to be outstanding, but also in the interests that we saw from NFL teams in attending our practices and our competitions throughout the season. And each of our 4 finalists played such an important role in the quality and the excitement of the 2023 football season. So let's get started in recognizing these fine, outstanding young men. Please turn your attention to the video boards.
Charles Lewis, Dartmouth. Lewis anchored the Big Green defense, which ranked 14th in the FCS in total defense, allowing just 305.5 yards per game. The Hillsdale, New Jersey product led the league in sacks with 7.5 and was 7th in tackles for loss with 9.5. He registered 43 tackles, forced 2 fumbles, and recovered a fumble, helping the Big Green to an Ivy League title this season. Joey Slackman, Penn. Slackman led Penn's defensive unit, which ranked 13th in the FCS in total defense, permitting just 304 yards per game. The Comac, New York native totaled 12 tackles for loss and 4 sacks. He finished the season with 50 total tackles.
And now a few off-the-field nuggets that illustrate how well-rounded these 2 finalists are. Charles has led numerous initiatives for charitable causes, including a toy drive through his church's teen group, as well as several fundraising efforts for deserving causes. And Joey is a part of the Penn Athletics Wharton Leadership Academy and has volunteered for the Beat the Streets Philadelphia group, mentoring local children. Let's all give a big round of applause for our Defensive Player of the Year finalists. And now let's meet our Offensive Player of the Year finalists. Turn your attention back to the video screens.
Nolan Grooms, Yale. Grooms led the Ivy League with 22 passing touchdowns and added 2 on the ground. He finished the season with over 2,400 yards of total offense, earning him first-team All-Ivy honors for the 2nd consecutive season. Grooms capped off his career with 63 total touchdowns, and the reigning Bushnell Cup winner, Grooms, led the Bulldogs to back-to-back Ivy League titles. Wes Rocket Brown. Rocket led the Ivy League in both receptions with 70 and receiving yards with 795. He reeled in 3 receiving touchdowns in his senior campaign and added 2 more on the ground. The Marblehead, Massachusetts native had 3 100-yard receiving games, and he hauled in 3 touchdown grabs and added 2 on the ground.
And off the field, Wes has been involved in the Be the Match Bone Marrow Drive and the Bench for Press for Cancer Community Service initiatives, and Nolan has volunteered with the Mandy Schwartz Marrow Drive Initiative. Please join me in a round of applause for our Offensive Player of the Year finalists. And now, it's my great pleasure to provide the announcements of the 2023 ASA S Bushnell Cup winners. First, our Defensive Player of the Year award goes to Joey Slackman from the University of Pennsylvania. Joey and Ray, please join us. You can join us up here. We'll let them get settled. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
And the 2023 Offensive Player of the Year for the second year in a row goes to Nolan Grooms from Yale University. Congratulations to Joey and to Nolan for your outstanding seasons. You are joining you're rejoining and you're joining a very select group of former football players, and I know you'll be tremendous representatives of this group. And to Charles and Wes, congratulations on your outstanding seasons. We know your future is so bright. We can't wait to see all that you accomplish. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for your support of Ivy League football, and I will turn the program back to George.
Thank you. All right. You know, when you get older, you got to put the glasses on. I was struggling earlier, but I'm going to give up now. It's now my pleasure to introduce Penn head football coach Ray Puri, who will say a few words about Joey Slackman, our 2023 Bushnell Cup Defensive Player of the Year. You know, Coach Puri has been part of 12 Ivy League championship teams during his time at Penn as both the assistant coach and head coach. Coach, come on up and say a few words. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad we're here, Joseph. Congratulations. And to all the finalists, congratulations to you as well. Everyone for being here in the NFF, for your support of Ivy League football. You know, we've been down a road, okay, getting here. Okay, Joey, his path may be a little untraditional than those that start the normal recruiting process. Joey came in as a heavyweight wrestler in a wrestling program, and during COVID made a decision that he wanted to change venues and move over to football. We got a great relationship with our wrestling coach, but I told him, you're telling Coach Rayner, not me, okay? So Joey made that brave task of telling Coach Rayner, but ever since joining our program, just Joey himself, his leadership, okay? The things that you look for in young men to represent you, both on and off the football field, in my opinion, unparalleled. Like a lot of our kids, they're talented, but do they really work? And do they really have those winning habits? And you watch Joey through his years with us in the program, how he went into the off-season training, in-season training, his thoughtfulness, his study of film, wanting to be the best that he could be. Okay, is this, in my opinion, and I've been here for a couple years, as I was told in the meeting earlier, he'll go right up there with all the greats that have come through our Penn football program. So very, very proud of Joey. But the proudest moment probably happened this year. You know, for all of us, and I think the mention was that how close the season was, and you can win by points here and there, but we had an epic battle up at Harvard, okay, with Tim and that, and late in the game, as you could see, Joey with his sling right there. We're going into overtime, and the ball's down there, and Joey had torn his bicep at that time, and he was going to be out of the game, and all of a sudden you get it's in, we're calling in defense, second overtime, and Joey says, put me in. Well, I look at Joey, I look at his size, I look at my size, and say, I guess you win. But Joey goes in, okay, with one arm on the goal line, and actually has a goal line stand with the rest of his defensive players, okay, force the field goal to take it to another round. But that really showed his dedication, his mindset, his willingness, the toughness that it takes. And Penn, we talk about a couple things. One is to be great. And being great is having gratitude. And there's no young man more gratifying to all the people around him that help him support. Be resilient. This is not Joey's first injury, and he has been down on the mat before, and he's been back up. Be excited. This young man comes to practice every single day with those winning spirits in mind, which is pretty awesome. Accountable. He just didn't make himself accountable. He made his teammates accountable, and they followed his lead. And then finally, T stands for tough. Okay, there's no better, more mentally, physically tough young man than Joey. And as he embarks on the next chapter in his life, he's being courted by a lot of FBS schools there, and he's got to get through some finals first. But we've got to make sure that happens. But Joey's tremendous good, and thank you, Joey, for being part of our family. Thank you.
And now, let's see, sorry about that. Joey, come on up, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks everyone for, just naming me a finalist. It's really one of the biggest honors in my career. Congrats to the other finalists, Charles and Wes. You guys are great players too, and it's an honor to be here. I'd like to thank my parents for their love and support of me and my goals. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am. My mom, Dana, my dad, Paul, I thank you for everything. They're my biggest supporters, and without their sacrifices, I wouldn't be where I am. So really appreciate them. And also my sister, Valerie, for being the best sibling and motivator that I could ask for. While she's the younger sibling, I look up to her every day, and I appreciate her more than she could know. To my trainer and my gym back home, James Salakis in Heat Sports Long Island, I'm indebted to you and all that you guys have given me over the years. I wouldn't be here without you pushing me every single day, and I'm indebted to them. And to the Penn coaching staff, Coach P, Coach Benson, Coach Hughes, Coach Swanstrom, and everyone there, thanks for taking a chance on me and believing in me from the beginning. Because not only am I honored to be here, but I'm honored to just be a part of the program. For where my career started to where I am now, I wouldn't be on this podium if you hadn't given me that chance a couple years ago, so thank you for everything. To my teammates, this award speaks volumes about the work that they've put in more than I am, because without them, I'm not here, and without the effort they put in, I wouldn't be here either. To the guys in the D-line room specifically, they welcomed me with open arms from the beginning, and in the end, it became a brotherhood that I'll cherish forever, so thank you guys. You know who you are. And to my physical therapist, who I've dealt with for a lot of my time at Penn, Shaker Kadali, and the athletic trainers, I wouldn't be here with them either. They assisted me along this whole journey of mine at Penn, and this award, winning it, is a testament to their work as well, and I think a lot of it goes unnoticed, so I want to make sure that they know that they're thanked, and without them, I don't grow who I am into today. So, and then, lastly, I'm grateful for everyone who has even played the smallest role in my development. To anyone who believed in me from the beginning, I thank you. So thank you, everyone.
It's now my pleasure to introduce head football coach at Yale, Tony Reno. Tony's in his 12th year at Yale. He's won 4 Ivy League championships in the last 6 years, including this season. I must say that I did have a chance to watch the Harvard-Yale game, and what a fantastic game and what a fantastic finish. So, Coach, come on up and talk about Nolan Grooms.
Thanks, George. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the finalists. It was a lot of fun to watch you guys play. Not nearly as much fun to play against you, but a lot of fun to watch you all play. Grooms family, I just want to thank you. 5 years ago, you took a shot on us. You trusted Yale football, and really me, to help raise your son, and raise your grandson, raise your brother. It was an honor, and it's a big piece of who we are. and Nolan's been a big piece of my family. I know I speak for my wife and for our children too. And I've got a lot of guys in the back that were part of this program for the last 5 years, and we've got an incredible family with these young men that have joined us at Yale, and Nolan's been the catalyst all the way through. I think when you think of perspective is a lot of things in life, and for us at Yale, we've been doing this for quite some time, for over 150 years. And Nolan Groom is going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play football at Yale. Won 2 Bushnell Cups, led us to 2 Ivy League championships back-to-back seasons. Going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play in this Ivy League, which is, I think when you think about perspective of what he's done as a football player, it's pretty amazing. But the things you don't know by how he throws passes and how he runs and what he does with his helmet on is the type of person and player he is. An incredible leader, an incredible teammate, someone who drove this team for the last 25 games since he's been our starting quarterback. And I think the success on the field really speaks volumes. But the things that he did off the field really tells a lot about Nolan and who he is as a player and a person. There's a saying that goes, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. There was no player that we've ever had in my time at Yale who made more big plays in big moments than Nolan Grooms. And I think that his teammates would attest to that as well. But even more than that for me, it's been his growth as a man, his growth as a leader, his growth as a friend, as a teammate. And for me, as someone that has been part of my family, that I've been most proud of. And seeing Nolan when he came in as a freshman, running all over the place in practice, to being someone who's guided this football team and his football family, this past season has been truly amazing. So really excited about what he's done and what you've done for us, Nolan, at Yale football, but even more importantly of what lies ahead. So congrats from all of us at Yale, and thank you, Nolan.
Thanks, Coach. The 2023 Bushnell Cup Offensive Player of the Year recipient, Nolan Grooms, can't let you hear this, is just the 6th ever 2-time Bushnell Cup winner in the 54-year history of the award. Nolan, would love your thoughts on this honor. Congratulations.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Wes on that outstanding career. Every time we played Brown, I feel like you and I have been in the Ivy League forever. Every time we played Brown, I'd be walking around the locker room, West Rocket's coming, boys, West Rocket's coming. Every time I sat on the offensive side, the offensive V, y'all's PA announcer does a great job of announcing the name. I think you got the coolest name in the Ivy League, but it was, just congratulating on that outstanding career, and excited for what you're gonna do. Coach Reno, Coach O, Miss Vicky Chun, just want to say thank you. The past 4 years has been the experience, it really that I could never dream of. It's been the best experience. I remember running around the backyard as a kid. My dream was always to be a college football player. And the last 4 years have it's just been an experience that I can't really put it into words. So I just want to thank y'all for that. Specifically the last 2 years, have been some of the most challenging years of my life. College football, especially in Ivy League, isn't easy. But the memories and bonds that I created and made, will last me a lifetime. I got a lot of my teammates here today. Those dudes sitting in the back there, they're my world. Nothing that we have accomplished could have really been done without every single one of my teammates. It's been a lifetime dream of mine, and I just want to thank you all for being a part of the roller coaster of a ride that college football can be. And thank you for just simply allowing me to be me. I can be a headache to deal with sometimes. But I just want to thank you all for allowing me to be me, and just allowing me to have this experience. I really can't put it into words, and it's just I want to thank you all for attending, and thank you for the last 4 years.
Let's have one more round of applause for these outstanding young men. Coaches and players, if you can stay on the dais for photos. I want to thank, on behalf of the Ivy League and the National Football Foundation, thank you so much for coming, and happy holidays. Thank you.